Hi guys, Enrique here with you from Bike Nation. We're here in the Dubai desert today to talk to you about the Harley-Davidson Pan America. Recently launched worldwide, it's now here in the UAE. Let's see what it's all about. So guys, the Harley Pan America, a few years of anticipation, it's finally here. I jumped on the bike this morning, started riding it right away because we were a bit late, and it's my first time on the bike, or even seeing the bike, and immediately I started checking what do the controls do. There's quite a lot of buttons, but it's very easy to understand what they do. Everything is at hand. The writings on the buttons are very clear. There's also a very informative screen with a lot of information and even customizable, so you can choose what you have on the screen. In terms of comfort, the seat is super comfortable, proper width, proper softness of the foam. It's also adjustable in two different heights. And also another important point is the foot pegs. They're also adjustable depending on your height and if you're riding on-road or off-road. And even the brake lever is adjustable. So usually you would have to buy a new one. Here you can just adjust it. So overall, it's a very comfortable bike, very easy to get used to it. So guys, the specs of the Pan America. We have here a 1252 cubic centimeter engine, liquid cooled, with variable valve timing and maintenance-free valves, which is really important in terms of your maintenance plan while you own the bike. It has 150 horsepower and 126 Newton meters torque, which is very well positioned in terms of the competition in this kind of bikes. The majority of the power is actually available in the higher revs of the engine. So it's a different kind of ride. It's not so much on the low end, more you have to rely on the high end, but it's a lot of power. It's a very, very agile bike. So in terms of transmission, we have a 6-speed gearbox and it's extremely smooth. I've ridden European bikes, Japanese bikes. To be honest, this is one of the best I've found so far, even with off-road boots and the standard peg setup. It's very easy to find your gears. In terms of suspension, it's fitted with Showa suspension, which is super comfortable and super capable in passing the traction to the floor. It has 5 ride modes with even 3 customizable modes in the S feature. Some of the modes can be adjusted quickly from the menu, and it also has a linking braking system. So when you apply more pressure on the front brakes, that pressure is also passed to the front brake, so you have a very balanced brake force. So the Pan America comes fitted with a very innovative system, which is called adaptive ride height. Basically what the system does is when you stop, the bike lowers about 2 inches, which is maybe just enough for you to be able to reach the floor. And then as you start off, immediately the suspension rises a bit. It might not seem such a big thing, but when you're riding off-road, this can be the difference between a lot of touching the ground with the belly of the bike or not, and of course it makes it a lot easier for you to reach the ground. So I have a few visitors here. These guys showed up. I guess they're also interested in the Pan America. I want to tell you about the different lines of the bike. Harley provides the standard line and the S line. The main difference between them is that the S line comes equipped with ride height system and also a few other accessories like the bar protectors, the screen, the belly protection. But all these accessories are anyway available to be fitted in the standard mode. So guys, let me tell you about my experience. I'm not the most experienced rider. I've been ridden for a few years, but as I jumped on the bike, it felt so natural. Even I could immediately stand up and felt in control of the bike. As I mentioned before, all the controls were super easy to understand and to get used to it. And then the comfort and the handling of the bike is outstanding. Really, really something special. The time it took me to get used to it was almost nothing. So we rode it a bit here off-road. We're going to do more of that later. But also adjusting the setting, putting it in the right mode, and I went straight into the sand and it felt so good. Even the ergonomics of it, the way I could grip the bike with my legs, adjust my arms and everything, it was amazing. It felt really, really natural. So I guess that for people who are not so used to this kind of bikes, probably previous Harley owners, it will be extremely easy to get adjusted to this bike and take the most out of it. So let me tell you about a few things that I would improve or upgrade on the bike. As I jumped on it, I felt a lot of heat coming from the exhaust on the right side. The pipes are quite exposed, even though there is certain protection, but the heat of it was a bit too much. The controls are quite okay, but the font used on the screen takes a little bit of time to adjust, and some of the icons are a bit small, but this maybe it's an easy update that can be done in the next, let's call it, facelift of the bike. And in terms of protection, if you buy the standard type, one thing you must go for is the bash plate right away. This one has it, but there's also still quite a few elements which are not fully protected, and if you want to go off-road, you will drop the bike and you need protection, otherwise it's going to get expensive. So the bike is now available at Harley-Davidson Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and in terms of price it starts at around 75,000 and it goes up to 98,000, but depends on your spec, so best of course to check with the dealer. So guys, we're going to do a full article on the bike. It's going to be available in our Bike Nation magazine website, which is bikenationmag.com. Thank you for watching. I'm going to hit the dunes.